Okay, so it's been about a week and we all have finally somewhat come to terms with the fact that the Americans have voted a tiny-handed, racist internet troll to its highest office. Malaysians, just like most of the world, were in shock when the results finally came in. On Facebook there was despair, quickly followed by the contrarian, too cool for school crowd who said, "Man up and care about our own elections, damn it." First of all those people need to find another child's balloon to burst. It does matter, because his upcoming presidency has already roiled markets and triggered riots, and the man isn't even in office yet. Yet, what does getting Trump mean for the average Malaysian? It could mean weaker ringgit, policy shifts, and simply your life could get harder. You know, the truth is, it may not even be that bad. Beneath that awful hair, one gets the feeling that this man can be reasoned with and that he may even turn out to be a better president than his predecessors. I'm just messing with you. We're Or at the very least, we have to get to grips with the fact that we can be. Because the horse that Trump rode in on, that has "Make America Great Again" painted on its ass, is one that is dragging a whole truck full of protectionist policies behind it. However, according to our PM, we all shouldn't panic and that our bilateral ties should be safe. In his own words, Najib says he knows Trump personally and is not someone new to him. Well, he's not the only Malaysian to have met that sausage-fingered kucing grabber. He apparently did walk in on a few beauty contestants.
Yeah, looking at that picture, you think, yeah, Malaysia's met him before. Once bitten.
However, beyond just the face value assurances, here are a few ways where getting trumped could mean a world of pain. And last Friday, we got a first-hand lesson in how it hurts, right in the ringgit. Where on Friday morning, a surge in the US dollar sparked panic among emerging market currencies, which were already feeling sick with stress due to the lack of clarity over the new administration's policies. In fact, reports are saying they should get ready for ringgit to be between 450 to 480, and that thanks to last Friday's panic attack, the ringgit is the second worst performing currency to date. And CIMB says that this uncertainty should persist up until that orange, covered in Labrador fur, takes office on Jan 20th, and his new economic and trade policies are known. So if you're planning to take a holiday at the end of the year, I am so sorry. Maybe you should consider Mexico? At least the peso seems to be in more dire straits than the ringgit is. CIMB offered a glimmer of hope though, saying that the decent fundamentals of the ringgit could prevail and it could recover to US pre-election levels. Fingers crossed. But I mentioned protectionist policies earlier, and yes, this is the part where POTUS Trump could do some real damage to the Malaysian economy. Our economy is feeling fragile enough. Why not a kick in the nuts on top of it, yeah? For 2016, up till September, the US was Malaysia's third largest export trading partner, exporting almost 60 billion ringgit worth of goods. More than 10% of everything we made went stateside. Yet, if those protectionist policies kick in, where Trump vows to bring back jobs to the US, expect to see more tariffs and penalties for those who dare to stray from America's silicone bosom. And we all know that China sits directly in Trump's crosshairs, where he has threatened to hike tariffs by up to 45%. China, where Malaysia just signed around 144 billion ringgit worth of deals. Any impact on China, any war on autos, manufacturing, oil and gas, will be felt among the supply chain. Yup, that's us. And in another point, it's likely goodbye to the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the potential $211 billion US GDP. We hardly knew ye. He even hates Singapore. Singapore calls it as a nation that steals jobs. Probably the most benign country in the world. It's the Gwyneth Paltrow of countries. Look, the truth is there is a lot to wade through with Trump and much has already been written. But for me, I don't think there's enough emphasis on what is scariest about Trump, which is we honestly don't know which Trump will wake up in the White House on any given day. One day he might feel generous and keep Obamacare. One day he feels like nuking Poland because, well, Poland. Markets and people hate uncertainty. It's the same psychology behind why we hate cliffhangers and why we feel murderous to the people who produce Sherlock and take years in between seasons. We can debate until the cows come home about his policies, but he has proven himself to say whatever it takes to get people to like him. His ban on all Muslims and the threat to deport millions of undocumented immigrants is one. That one could impact Malaysian families going to the US and have those already working there fearing for their lives. In the days that followed, the policy seems to have been watered down, and his chief screamer, Rudy Giuliani, says the ban is no longer operative. Speaker Paul Ryan has said that contrary to earlier promises, Trump is not planning on erecting a deportation force, which sounds like the shittiest knockoff of the Power Rangers ever. And Trump himself, he has asked his supporters to stop harassing minorities. No, Donald, you don't get to do that. You don't get to appoint a Ku Klux Klan-approved candidate as your chief strategist and say it's okay. You don't get to call Mexican thieves and rapists, legitimize the view of every racist bigot in the world, and I'm including Malaysia in this, and tell them to stop it. With every policy he makes, we never know whether it comes from him or his coterie of simpering blonde idiots I wouldn't trust with a box of Lego and superglue. He has made so many U-turns on his policies that he has essentially been running around in circles for the past week. Come on, that's his wife Melania's job, okay? I know you hate immigrants, Donald, but that's your wife. Don't take her work away from her. So in the end, what do we do to make sure we don't suffer a Trumpocalypse? We can ensure that the government does enough to shore up our economy so that it is strong enough to stand the shock. And as can be seen by recent news flow, the pivot to China's less silicone bosom has already started, which is yet another set of issues. International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Sri Mustafa Mohamad even said that if the TPP is a bust, Malaysia would then barter free trade agreements with countries that it doesn't currently have an FTA with. As for the ringgit, this will be Bank Negara's new governor's greatest test as to whether he can hold the ship in the storm and not resort to something that sounds like schmatterals from trolls. Worst come to worst, golf? Who knows? Maybe Trump will wake up one day and say, hey, what's a DOJ lawsuit between friends, yeah? Regardless,
fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
just saying.